My name is Selena, and I am a volunteer child ambassador with World Vision. I have been volunteering with them since 2019. I really feel God calling me to be a child ambassador, and so that is why I am here today to share child sponsorship with you. Typically, when I speak at a church, I only give a quick 5.5 to 6 minute presentation during the worship service. So this is a little different. They've asked me to cover the entire forum. So the plan is that I would like to start off by sharing with you a combination of two of the formal presentations I usually give at a church. And then I'll talk more in depth about the sponsorship program in general. And then after that, I'd like to share with you a little bit about World Vision's WASH program. So that's the outline for the morning. And now I'd like to start off by reading you parts of a letter. Dear Selena, I am so happy when I receive a letter from you. I love you so much. Nothing compares. I am always thinking about you. Thank you for sponsoring me. Thank you for always giving me love. Those are some of the heartwarming words that one of my sponsored kiddos, Chanty, pictured in the middle, wrote to me. Let us pray. Dear God, I want to thank and praise you for this opportunity to represent you and World Vision here at Zion. Please prepare the hearts of those you have called to be sponsors. To you alone be the glory. Amen. In Philippians 2:4, God tells us that investing in others is important to him. He says, do not be interested only in your own life, but be interested in the lives of others. This is the core of World Vision. They live out their Christian faith every day, following Jesus' example by caring for those in need. And today, I am excited to share that you have an opportunity to partner with them through a program called Child Sponsorship. So, what is child sponsorship? Sponsoring a child is a personal, effective way to fight poverty. When a child in need is sponsored, a special relationship is built that encourages that child with hope for the future. As you build a relationship with your child, you will have the opportunity to watch him or her grow through letters and videos. Furthermore, not only are you helping to meet the basic needs of your sponsored child, you are investing in his or her community. Your donation is pooled with the donations of other child sponsors in that area, so the entire community benefits. World Vision works with the local leaders of the community in which your child lives to identify the root causes of poverty, and together they determine what is needed to tackle those root causes. Sponsoring a child is an ongoing commitment until your child or the community becomes independent. The impact you have on the life of a child through sponsorship is more than you may ever know. You are so important to these kids. They absolutely love you. One of my former sponsor kiddos wrote these words in her closing letter. I am so grateful to you forever and ever. I will never forget you. I will never forget your love. I ask that you please give another child like me a chance. As I read her words in the words of Chanty that I shared with you earlier, it's in those moments that you fully understand what Jesus meant when he said, it is more blessed to give than to receive. In addition to Philippians 2:4, the verse that I shared with you earlier, there are many other verses that clearly convey that Jesus wants us to help others. He doesn't want us so concerned with our own life that we miss the aching need of another. In John 13:34 through 35, Jesus says, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another. This isn't just any kind of love, though. Jesus tells us that we are to love as he loved. Remember, he's about to go to the cross, which is the greatest act of love. For Jesus, love did not mean a feeling. It meant action. It meant actively loving, doing something sacrificially for another. Recently, my 11-year-old daughter heard a quote on TV, and she came running to me and said, "Mom, you have to use this in one of your World Vision presentations." This was the quote: "To the world, you may be one person, but to one person, you may be the world." Have you ever thought of that before? Have you ever thought of God choosing you, hand choosing you to be that person, the one he wants to work through to answer someone else's prayer? There are so many families out there praying every day for the cycle of poverty to be broken so their communities can flourish and their kids can be healthy and go to school and just spend their days being a kid. In Galatians 6:2, it says, "Carry each other's burdens, and this way you will fulfill the law of Christ." When we give to others, we help to take the burdens of their life away. Jesus isn't asking us to do anything that he hasn't already done himself. Jesus carried a heavy load for all of us. He was a burden bearer. He carried a cross. God has a plan and a purpose for all of our lives. If you feel God calling you to partner with him in sponsoring one of his precious children through World Vision, I encourage you to move forward in faith and say, "Yes, here I am, Lord." If we do not step out when God wants to use us, we will miss out on the joy and the excitement of being used by him. And we can miss out on his blessings, the doors he will open, the things he will teach us, and the times we'll feel his presence in a very special way. God wants to, God uses us to bless us more than we could ever ask or imagine, and I want you to receive the blessings that come from giving. God promises that the generous will prosper. Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. He will not forget the work you did and the love you showed for him by helping his people. Furthermore, God is always faithful to finish what he begins. Never underestimate what he will continue to do through your faithfulness in the lives of these children and their children for generations to come, long after you have completed your obedient service to him. So, if you feel God calling you to shine his light in the life of a child in need, please come see me after the forum to pick out a kiddo to sponsor. For those of you who may be watching this online, you may use this QR code on the screen for child sponsorship. And now I'd just like to conclude with some of Jesus' own words. "I tell you the truth, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did for me." So that was a combination of two of the formal presentations that I usually give when I'm at a church. And now I'd like to talk more in depth about the sponsorship program. So there are two ways that you can be paired with a child. The first way is you choose a child. So I have a number of picture folders up here and invite you to come look at them after the presentation. There's a lot of information on these child picture folders, so I will just give you a quick overview. So here is a picture folder for Jose. On the front, you have his name, his picture, his age, his birthday, and country of residence. And then in the inside, you get to know a little bit more about him. So the first paragraph talks about his family. The second paragraph talks about where he's living and the conditions he's living in. The third paragraph talks about his interest, and the fourth paragraph talks about how World Vision is going to be helping that community. In addition to the child picture folders, there is also the option of choosing a child online. The second way to be paired with a child is through a program called Chosen. So this is a program in which a child will choose you as his or her sponsor. In order to be chosen by a child, you would sign up and submit your photo. This is something that you can do online, and I can help you with it. Then your name and photo is going to be sent to a community where World Vision is preparing a chosen party for the kids to choose their sponsors. At the chosen party, a child in need will see pictures of all the people waiting to be sponsored, and a special child will choose your photo. After being chosen, you will receive a photo of your new sponsored child holding your photo, plus a letter of why you were chosen. So those are the two ways that you can be chosen. And now, after you've been paired with a child, how does sponsorship work? So we are going to watch a really quick video, and then we'll talk about it.
Congratulations! You've made a wonderful decision to sponsor a child. Now what? Well, now you're about to embark on an adventure to help change the world for a special child. As the journey begins, you'll get to know your sponsored child through a welcome kit you'll receive in the mail. You'll learn more about where she lives and what she likes to do. You'll also get annual updates on how she's growing and how her community is working with World Vision and making progress to become self-sufficient. And within a few months, check your mailbox for an introductory letter from your child to you. Write back, get the whole family involved, and tell your child about you and your family. Be sure to send a photo too, so she can get to know you. Children love receiving letters from friends across the world. It's a very special day when a letter arrives. Whenever your child receives a letter from you, she'll write one in return. It's a great way to build a special friendship with your sponsored child and learn about her family and community. Want to get started right away and save a stamp? Visit myworldvision.org. You can email your child and attach a photo of your family. It's easy. World Vision staff in your child's country will print your message, translate it, and deliver it to your child. My World Vision is your personalized website to see photos and videos of your child and her community. It's like a doorway to your child's world. You can learn more about where your child lives and how you're making an impact. Send her a special gift for her birthday. View your giving history. And share with your friends why you love being a sponsor. And best of all, watch how hard work by the community and local staff, along with your donations, your encouragement through your letters, and your prayers, transform her world and help her thrive. It's a relationship you both will treasure for a lifetime. Thank you for helping us change children's lives for good.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do when you sign up to sponsor a kiddo is get their picture up somewhere in your house. I have all of my kids' pictures on the refrigerator so that I can see them every day. Secondly, you'll receive a welcome packet or kit in the mail within 7 to 10 days and a call from World Vision. It's a 253 area code. The primary reason for the call is to personally thank you for your sponsorship and to assist you with any questions that you may have. Then within 6 to 12 weeks, you'll receive an introductory letter in the mail from your sponsored child. In the meantime, though, you are going to want to set up your online account because there is so many things that you can do through this online account. I'm just going to run through some of those examples of things you can do. So you can manage your account, which means that you can edit your contact information. You can view your giving history. You can also update your payment methods. So for example, if you chose to sign up with your credit card today and then you want it to change later to an auto withdrawal from your checking account, that is something you can do online. You can also manage your active donations. So through that tab, for example, you can set a specific reoccurring date that you want your donation to come out of your checking account or charged to your card. So that's some of the managing of the account part of it. What's really fun, though, is you get to view your child's profile, photos, and videos. So through these photos and videos, you get to see how your child is growing, and you get an insight into their personality. Your child may even want to show you something that they can do. So it was really cute. For example, one of my little girls, she proudly showed me that she could put together a puzzle, and it was so cute. Another thing is that a lot of my kiddos have read books to me. And recently, one of my little girls told me that she likes to play basketball, and she showed me that she could dribble a basketball. So.
Different now than it used to be. You know how it used to just be this snail mail, and this is kind of really exciting that you get kind of more real time.
Yep. So another thing you can do is read your child's letters online. Scanning the letters and posting them to your online account is something that World Vision started doing just a couple of years ago. So the original still comes in the mail, but you get a sneak peek a little earlier. You also get to learn about your child's community through readings and photos and videos, and you get to track their progress. World Vision will still send you an annual report in the mail every year. Another thing you get to do is email your child. And so through email, your letter gets there quicker. It's a way to save on postage. World Vision has a number of pre-written messages there so that you can either send them or customize them. And you can also attach 3 different photos. The children will respond to your letters and your emails. And so with the email, World Vision staff will print it, translate it, and deliver it to your child. And so if you do sign up to sponsor a child, I would encourage you to send a quick little introductory email and attach a photo so they can see who you are right away. Another thing that you can do on the website is send a special gift to your child, a special monetary gift. So as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, your monthly donation is pooled with the donations of other child sponsors in the area, so the entire community benefits. World Vision uses a community-based model because they know that the best way for a child to thrive and for all children to thrive is for the entire community to be strengthened. And also, they don't want a child who has a sponsor to excel more than a child who does not have a sponsor. So making a special gift donation, though, is a little bit different because most of it does go directly to your child's family. And it's a really special way to bless your child and help with some of their extra needs. So all special gift donations must be a minimum of $100. 25% of that, any amount under $200, and then anything over $200 will go to help your child's community, but everything else goes to your child's family. And so World Vision asks that you do not send any more than one special gift per year. And the reason for that is to reduce jealousy in the community. And so World Vision will then work with your sponsored child, their family, and their community to see what's needed most. Then they'll be able to purchase the items, and your kiddo will send you a thank you letter. So some of the examples of things that my children have sent, my little girl from Ethiopia bought a sheep, and my little girl from Cambodia, she always uses some of the funds to buy a really big bags of rice. And a lot of the kids will buy food and clothing and household items. And they are so incredibly grateful to you. And one of the letters that I received, one of the thank you letters said, "I say thanks to World Vision and to you, my sponsor, for sending me this blessing. It arrived at the right moment when I needed it the most." Another thing you can do on your worldvision.org account is to look up your child's mailing address so you can actually send a physical letter or a package. The package needs to be in a 9x12 envelope, needs to fit into that. The site will also show you how to address the envelope, and we'll give you some guidelines as far as what to write in your letter or what to send in the package. Your child will respond to your letter and your packages, and it's a lot of fun. My daughter and I absolutely love shopping for our kids and sending them little gifts. One of my little girls, we sent her a play food set with a little frying pan because we knew that she really liked that kind of thing. And she wrote a letter back and said that she was just so incredibly happy and that maybe one day she'll grow up to be a chef. So it was so sweet. Another thing is that you can plan a visit to go and visit your sponsored child through your site. This isn't anything that I've been able to do yet, but I hope to. I started sponsoring kids in 2020 and COVID shut down the visits, but now they're starting to open up again. So the site will list the countries that are open for visits, and visit request applications need to be submitted at least 6 months in advance. So anyway, that's some of the things that you can do. It's kind of a lot, but it's a lot of things you can do on your worldvision.org account. So it's something you want to get set up. But now what we're going to do is, what does World Vision actually do when they are in a community? So we're going to watch another short video, and then we'll talk about it.
For the past 60 years, we've been partnering with people like you to help children and communities break free from poverty. But have you ever wondered how we use your donations to actually do that? We combine gifts from sponsors to benefit all children in a community, then leverage other gifts, products, and grants so we can do even more. When we begin working in a community, we start by following Jesus' example of coming alongside and listening. We sit down with children, families, churches, and community leaders. We listen to their unique challenges and needs. Do they need clean water, better schools, a dependable supply of food, basic healthcare, local jobs? What opportunities do they see? Next, we work with them to develop a 5-year action plan that will address the root causes of their challenges and bring fullness of life for all children. Once the plan is drafted, we help them put it into action. We work with their existing leaders and empower new ones, bringing the community together to address the needs they've identified. And if something in the action plan isn't quite working as well as it should, we go back and change it so it does. But it doesn't stop there. We don't just help a community get the things they need, like healthcare, education, clean water, nutritious food, and economic opportunity. We also train them so they know how to best care for and grow these new resources so they will continue to have them for years to come. When the community has grown healthier, safer, and more self-sustaining, then we transition out and move on to the next community in need. By now, the community is a better place for children to live and grow, and they're more equipped to handle emergencies and can even turn around and help their neighbors. From beginning to end, this transformation is made possible because of people like you who are passionate about helping children and communities reach their God-given potential to break free from poverty.
Okay, so I'm just going to run through the 7 areas of focus that World Vision addresses. The first area is Christian discipleship. World Vision demonstrates God's love to all through their service and invest in activities that strengthen the Christian faith of those they serve. They provide children with chances to deepen their understanding of God's love and equipped parents and churches to foster their children's spiritual growth. The second area is clean water. World Vision drills wells and establishes other water access points, helps communities improve sanitation, and supports families in developing healthy hygiene behaviors. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that a little bit later too. Another area is child protection. By empowering children, strengthening families, mobilizing local leaders, and influencing governments, World Vision helps communities address the root causes of violence in the home, child labor, and sex trafficking, and other atrocities against children. Number 4 is education. World Vision focuses on early childhood development, literacy, safe schools, education in emergencies, equal access, and life skills and vocational training for teens. They're committed to equipping and supporting teachers and parents and partnering with governments to ensure that vulnerable kids are empowered to change their own future through education. The 5th one is health. World Vision trains community health workers to fight preventable diseases and educate mothers about safe pregnancy and nutrition for themselves and their kids. They also distribute medicine and supplies to clinics. Number 6, economic empowerment. World Vision provides financial services such as loans and saving groups, teaches farmers about sustainable agricultural and helps them access markets, and educates small business owners on risk awareness and resilience. Number 7, emergency relief. When disaster strikes, World Vision's local staff and global experts help vulnerable families get back onto their feet with life-saving supplies and support. Then they help them rebuild and prepare for future risk. So those are the areas of focus. And World Vision is typically in a community for about 15 years, and so you'll get to watch their progress and track their progress through 4 phases. So I'll just give you an overview of what those 4 phases are. Phase 1 is plan, building trust, and laying out groundwork. So World Vision starts by building relationships with local leaders and community members. The community identifies their greatest challenges and develops an action plan. The community nominates vulnerable children for sponsorship. Phase 2, establish, building hope and skills. Community projects begin as World Vision works shoulder to shoulder with families. Excitement grows as families start experiencing positive change. The well-being of children improves as solutions are implemented. Phase 3, empower. It's building confidence for the future. Local leaders and families take on more ownership and self-sufficiency grows. The community and children grow stronger and healthier thanks to large improvements in the areas we talked about before: the Christian discipleship, clean water, child protection, education, health, economic empowerment, and emergency relief. Phase 4 is graduation. After years of hard work, the community becomes self-reliant and is ready to graduate. World Vision ends its involvement in a way that empowers and sustains long-term outcomes. They celebrate their success and seek out the next community where God has blessings in store. World Vision will also send you a graduation announcement in the mail, and you'll have 30 days to send a final goodbye letter to your child via email. So that was the sponsorship program in more detail, and now I would like to talk a little bit about World Vision's WASH program, which stands for Water, Sanitation, and Hygiene. So I'm guessing that living in Minnesota, most of us seldom, if ever, worry about drinking contaminated water or not having access to clean water, sanitation, or proper hygiene. It's just so readily available for us here that it probably doesn't even cross our minds. But I just want you to think for a moment, what if that wasn't the case? How would your life be different? My family and I have a small understanding of what it's like not to have running water. About 9.5 years ago, our well went dry and we had to get another one drilled. However, because of complications with the property, the city, and the drilling of the well itself, it took 33 days to get running water back to our house. During that time, we had to carry containers of water back and forth from either my sister's house or church. Thankfully, my sister let us shower at her house and do laundry and some cooking. Otherwise, all of the water that we used at our home came from those containers, and we had to make a trip every couple of days to refill them. So I'd like to share a couple pictures with you just to give you a visual of what it was like. So here are a couple pictures of my daughter carrying the empty water containers down to our car so that we could refill them. I had all of the water containers on the kitchen counter with a crock pot continuously going so that we would have some warm water if we needed it. Like I said before, all of the water that we used at home came from those containers, including having to fill up the toilet. We would watch the progress from my daughter's bedroom window. And then finally, after 33 days, praise the Lord, we had clean running water again. Despite the inconvenience of not having running water, it is nothing in comparison to what some people are going through. We still had access to clean water anytime we want it. It was only a short car ride away. But there are so many people out there who do not have access to clean water. Instead, they have to drink this horribly disgusting water that comes from contaminated water sources where it's not uncommon to find garbage, chemicals, or animals bathing and going to the bathroom. After drinking this water, people can get extremely sick with diarrhea and other waterborne illnesses, and nearly 800 to 1,000 children under the age of 5 die every single day. Women and girls bear the greatest burden of the clean water crisis because they are primarily responsible for water collection. In some parts of the world, women and children have to walk on average 3.7 miles to collect water from those contaminated sources, which, just to put that in perspective, is the equivalent of 15 laps around a football field. But for them, it is not a smooth walking surface. To get there, oftentimes they're walking under the hot, scorching sun through rugged terrains, valleys, hills, trying to avoid thorns, snakes, and bees along the way. In addition to the physical injury that can come from walking through that type of environment, they are also susceptible and vulnerable to harassment, abuse, and other types of violence during these trips. Once they arrive at the water hole, especially in the dry season, they may even have to dig to get to the water. And then on the way back, it's even harder. After collecting the water, the women and children have to carry it home. Women usually carry a container that's similar to the size of this one. When filled, this weighs the equivalent of 5 gallons of milk, which is really heavy. And carrying such a heavy load, understandably, adds injury to your neck and back. And since 5 gallons of water is not enough for an entire family to cook, drink, bathe, and wash for a day, Women and children usually have to make a trip to the water hole many times a day. And when they are spending all day collecting water, they don't have the time nor the energy to pursue school and other income activities to improve their lives. Furthermore, for adolescent girls, if there isn't clean water and toilets at school for managing their menstruation, they oftentimes cannot attend, which is yet another way they get behind and the educational gap between the boys and girls widens. For women, at childbirth, the lack of clean water, sanitation facilities, and proper hygiene contributes to a higher rate of disease and death amongst mothers and newborns. So all of the effects of this life mean that so many women and children are unable to live up to their God-given potential. But this is where all of you can help. You can make a donation to Clean Water or to World Vision's WASH program, which will help bring clean water, sanitation, and proper hygiene to the communities where they work. So just look at how happy they are. Now I'd like to share with you a testimony from someone who has benefited from World Vision's WASH program, and her name is Jara. Collecting water was strenuous. During the day, there would always be a crowd. Therefore, Jara would have to wait 2 to 3 hours to get water. She said, I attempted to get water at nightfall in a less crowded area, but was concerned about sexual harassment. It was dangerous to leave my children at home unattended to fetch water. It was difficult to carry a small child in my arms while also holding the container in my other hand. Because fetching water took so long, I could not feed my little children adequately. The family could only bathe and wash clothes once a week. The people of her community regularly developed diarrhea after drinking water from the dirty wells. After World Vision installed a water pipeline system, the community now has access to clean water. As a result, waterborne infections have become far less common. They all have enough water, clean water, for bathing and washing clothes every day. Jara says, I am overjoyed that I can fetch water in a moment from my doorstep. My husband and I can now spend as much time as we want with our children. My children are no longer skipping meals. Furthermore, World Vision provided toilets, trash cans, hand washing devices, and menstrual hygiene kits for the community. They are working with women and girls to teach them about the usage of sanitary pads and their disposal, washing hands before cooking, before feeding a baby, before eating, and after using the bathroom. Jara adds, because of placements of waste bins in every corner, everyone has developed the habit of dumping trash in them. The camp remains clean. Because of installing toilets, no one defecates in open spaces, resulting in an odor-free environment. Thank you to World Vision for providing clean water and a safe environment. That's just one example of how a community has benefited from World Vision's WASH program. So if you would like to make a donation to help provide access to clean water for those who do not have it, that is also come see me after the forum for that. For those of you who may be watching online, you may use this QR code for clean water donations. And now I'd just like to conclude with a verse from Jeremiah. He defended the cause of the poor and the needy, and so all went well. Is that not what it means to know me, declares the Lord? To know God is not merely to have a peaceful feeling in your heart. To know God is to obey Him in acting for the benefit of others, especially for those who cannot pay you back. So out of love for Christ and everything He has done for us, please come see me to pick out a kiddo to sponsor and or give a clean water donation. Thank you for your time this morning.